Now that you have finished Chapter 6 of Mice and Men, it is time to discuss Steinbeck's ending to this tragic tale. Grab your tissues and your book, and let's review. So when we reach the climax of the novella, when George shoots Lenny, students often ask, but why? Why would George kill Lenny, his only companion? Couldn't they have run away like they did after the incident in Weed? And unfortunately, the answer is no. Curly's search party is nearby, and we know that Curly is ready to shoot Lenny in the guts and make him suffer. Being shot in that way would be painful and death would be drawn out. We know that Lenny, having the mind of a child, would not understand what was happening to him and he would suffer. We also know that Lenny has a history of getting into trouble as he is incapable of realizing his own strength or learning from his mistakes. So even if Lenny and George were able to escape with murder, there is good reason to believe that Lenny would continue to put them in jeopardizing situations. If we look back, we can see that Steinbeck gave us several clues as to what was about to happen. Here are some examples of text support in Chapter 5. You don't know that, Curly. Curly gonna want to get him lynched. Curly'll get him killed. Candy. I'll work my month and I'll take my $50 and I'll stay all night in some lousy cat house, or I'll set in some pool room until everyone goes home, and then I'll come back and work another month and I'll have $50 more. George. I ain't gonna let him hurt Lenny. Now you listen. The guys might think I was in on it. I'm gonna go in the bunkhouse. George. Carlson came running in. The bastard stole my Luger, he shouted. It ain't in my bag. And course we'll shoot him, says Curly. I'm going. I'm going to shoot the guts out of that big bastard myself, even if I only got one hand. I'm going to get him. Curly. George's killing of Lenny is often viewed as a mercy killing. We know that by killing Lenny the way that he did, he was saving Lenny from a more painful death. We also know from reading Chapter 3, where Candy's dog was shot, that where George shot the gun between the head and the neck was meant to be quick and painless. The concept of mercy killing is also referred to by the term euthanasia. You may have heard this term used with animals, as people's pets are often euthanized when they are suffering. However, euthanasia of people is controversial and illegal in most states, as there is a fine line between mercy and murder. If you are interested in learning more about euthanasia, you may consider choosing this topic for your social issues research paper. The last sentence of the book is, and Carlson said, now what the hell you suppose is eating them two guys? Why, Steinbeck, why? I threw my book across the room when he ended the book like that. However, like the rest of the book, he is trying to show us something. Carlson and Curly seem completely unbothered by the fact that Curly's wife and Lenny are both murdered that day. It's still business as usual for them, with no evidence of compassion for George or sadness for the loss of life. This shows readers the harsh reality of life during the 1930s. The end.